Hey, good day to you. Today we are doing an overview of Helium 10. So Helium 10 is software for Amazon, Walmart, TikTok shop sellers, and even Amazon influencers. Today we're gonna try to understand what it really is, who can it benefit, what it does, and because there have been some updates, some new additions to Helium 10. I've been a user of Helium 10 since 2017, I believe, and an affiliate of Helium 10 since 2018 or so. So create a lot of videos about Helium 10. There have been some changes. So today with Shivali from Helium 10, we're going to try to understand what changed and kind of how you, the viewer, if you would love to start using Helium 10, how you can benefit. If you're already a user, maybe you'll hear what changed, what's new. So in description is going to be a good offer for Helium 10 with some discount codes. So click on the link. There usually is going to be the kind of most relevant kind of deal that's going on. You'll see it through the link. It's an affiliate link. It means that if you ever do business with Helium 10, I'm going to get a little commission from that. No extra cost to you. And thank you for supporting my content this way so we can keep it free. So Shivali, welcome. Could you introduce yourself? And then we can start the kind of what is Helium 10 and kind of dive in.
Yeah, thank you so much. So my name is Shivali Patel. If you don't know me, I'm a senior brand evangelist at Helium 10. All that means is I evangelize people to the gospel of Helium 10. I teach people what we're all about. I educate on the tools, and my job is really to make sure that you have a great understanding of your resources at Helium 10 so you can go on and prosper in your business. I'm also an Amazon seller. I sell digital and physical products, and that is why I know a little bit about what I'm talking about here today. As
Awesome.
Vova said, we're really just going to cover an overview. I won't get really in depth into any of the tools, but I will show you how you can learn more as you're going through all of our different features because we do have quite a bit, whether you're just getting started and you're starting to sell on Amazon, you're looking for a new profitable product to launch and you're excited about that new journey you're embarking upon, or maybe you've been established for a while, you have
Yeah.
a SKU or two and you want to add to that catalog, or say you want to take a look at your rankings, you want to run your ads a little bit more automated, you know that your ACOS is, somewhere where you don't want it to be, then what sort of rules can you put in place so that way you're not spending so much time managing all your campaigns? We have something for everybody. I'm going to do my best to cover as much as I can at a very high level so you can go in and then, actually use it for your business.
Thank you, Shivali. Yeah, also add to our viewers, if they want to go in depth, there's Helium 10 YouTube channel. They can just learn. There's a lot of tutorials. I have a playlist of tutorials that I've done myself, plus with the team of Helium 10. I think there's over 250 videos at this point, so it's in the description. So people can go and use the search even within the playlist to find relevant videos. Like there's a black box of Helium 10 or the Chrome extension, etc. So use that to navigate. And again, there's the good deal in the description. In the end of the video, we're gonna also jump into the pricing to see how much it is. And yeah, also the deals in the description help you save money on that. But Shivali, so what is Helium 10? Maybe just a simple question. What is Helium 10 to start
It's
with?
a software suite of tools for Amazon, TikTok, and Walmart sellers. We like to say it's for e-commerce sellers, but we are still expanding our toolkit every single year.
All right. So then let's say Amazon sellers, and it's the majority of my viewers on the channel. There's also Walmart sellers and maybe even TikTok shop sellers. For Amazon sellers, how can Helium 10 be useful? Like, can you help us, start a business or advance in the business and in which way?
If you are a Helium 10 user on any of our plans, you get access to everything just at different levels. So, for example, even if you're on our cheapest tier plan, you get access to a full blown course, which will teach you about our tools as well as about the Amazon selling journey and then how to expand and actually exit that business too. So, we do have the resources to educate you on the actual journey itself. But outside of that, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, it's ranging from product and keyword research all the way into listing optimization and analytics and marketing as well. So, depending on where you are in your business, if you are an Amazon seller already, then you might want to visit first. What's your primary objective right now? If your objective is to ensure that you're ranking for the keywords you just built out listings for, then you're going to go into our keyword tracker. If, say, you are looking to build out a listing, maybe you just placed an inventory order, you are going to go check out our Cerebro and Magnet tools and then take that all that information and save it into your folders and then go into the listing builder to actually generate that listing and stack it up next to your competitors. If you've already been established for a while, maybe you're interested in your search query performance data if you are brand registered, or you can take out take a look at share of voice or market tracker to figure out how you're doing relative to the market and whether your ads are actually going and doing their job. Maybe you have wasted ad spend, 20 clicks, but no sales. Then you'll want to take a look at our rules-based automations inside of ad campaigns for Helium 10 ads, as well as maybe just take a look at the account audit, figure out where you are losing money so you can put a little bit back more into your pocket. So it really just depends. I don't think it's one shoe fits all. Wherever you are in your business, I want you to figure out what is the primary problem, and then from there determine what is going to be that first tool that you go in and you use. And I think our dashboard does a really good job of helping you kind of navigate that, because recently we came out with a classic view and a solutions view. And I can just share my screen here really briefly to show you
Yes.
what I'm talking about. But this is what you take a look at when you're inside of your dash, and you go into products and you'll see the classic and solutions view. Now, this is why I say figure out your objective and say it's find products to sell. Then you're going to go into black box.
Interesting.
If you are trying to validate your product ideas, maybe you have a short list already, you can figure out the product launchpad, input in some of your competitors, your keywords, and how many differentiation factors you found, how many suppliers you found, and it'll give you a holistic picture of what it might look like to actually launch in that space. If you are in the optimizing listings section, you'll navigate down to that. So you can go into your solutions view, and then the classic view will just give you everything that is inside of the Helium 10 dash at a glance. So you have find products to sell. As you can see, it's just written as a subtitle instead. So both of them do the same exact thing. It's just how you prefer to navigate it, and then kind of jump on from there. If you
Mhm.
are also already an Amazon seller and you have been considering not having all of your eggs in one basket, then you'll notice that some of our tools have the little Walmart or TikTok shop icon next to it. And
Mhm.
that is going to tell you what it's actually available for. So, for example, if you are an Amazon seller, you already have your SKUs listed. You already also know the process and have the skill set to sell on a different platform, right? Most business processes are really, really similar. And so, if you know what to do on Amazon, chances are you probably know what to do on TikTok Shop. And so you can actually go into our listing converter, which will let you migrate those listings to TikTok. Now, I don't recommend that as the first step. The first step I would really do is go onto Amazon, open up your listings, and then use our Chrome extension to actually, let's say I went to Coffin Shelf because that's what we sell at Helium 10 as a test product. I know, super morbid. It's November, Halloween's gone in this area of the world, but let's just open it up for the sake of opening it up. I'm going to go to my extension. If you don't have this installed, it's going to be helium10.com/extension. Go into profitability calculator and then jump over to our TikTok shop tab. Here, input in your information, play around with the numbers. For example, instead of the FBA fees, now you're taking a look at the affiliate commission rates. Maybe instead of 20%, I'm okay with giving out 12% or 15%. Play around with the numbers. See what makes sense to you from an ROI perspective. And then if you have any ad costs, you're running, you can put that in here. Maybe your duties and tariffs are 10, and then we see that for this setup, we'd have only 2% margins, which is not so great. But
Oof.
kind of go in and make sure that it makes sense for you. And if it does, then what you'll do is you'll go open up a TikTok shop seller center that's similar to Seller Central. It's the equivalent, but for TikTok shop, go into listing converter, and then you'll migrate over your listings. In which case, here it's going to let you basically just, pull from which TikTok shop store you want to migrate to, put in whether you want it fulfilled by FBA and FBM. And this is why we really recommend it to our Amazon sellers, is because you can go in and quite literally just use your Amazon stock for TikTok shop and automate most of it through our tools. So you can transfer over your listings with listing converter. You can go in and set up, your SKUs so they sync. So that way every time somebody places an order at your TikTok shop listing, it's going to go in and actually pull from your Amazon inventory. You can set a safety stock. So let's say you went viral, which I hope happens for all of you guys, then you won't run out of your Amazon inventory either. And then you can go in and create, let's say, persona invitations inside of Influencer Messenger. So this is what I do for my brands: is I go in and I, ask myself, what are all the different buckets of customers that would actually purchase from me? And then go in, create invitations using, say, something like ChatGPT, and then input them into the influencer messenger. And every time I find an influencer, I'll actually be able to filter inside of Influencer Finder and then add more than I would be able to add inside of TikTok Shop. So in TikTok Shop, you're capped at 50 invitations. Inside of Influencer Messenger, you'd have 100, 200. You could add more to the same invitation. So you're not doing twice as much work. You're not having to create a new invite every single time. And then for Influencer Finder, even if you're adding them to the invitation, what it's going to do is actually it's going to send out that message to your influencer. If you clicked automate those samples, then it's going to directly pull from all that SKU mapping that we did before and just make it automated. So that way you're not really doing that much except going in and finding the influencers later on. Our Helium 10 ads, our profits, our Finder, all of these things also are TikTok oriented, but Influencer Finder is actually also oriented for Amazon. So if you're like, you know what, TikTok Shop is not where I want to go right this second, you can still go in and find Amazon influencers who have done similar products for your competitors or are in your space or have audiences that might be interested in what you're selling, and also get some videos for your Amazon listing as well. So much you can do. I really cannot cover it, but this is, I think, the best way I can frame it for you to get an understanding of all the things you can actually do with Helium 10, because I know for me, I am able to run business simply through Helium 10 and through Seller Central.
Hmm. So if I understand you correctly, for those who are just interested in selling on Amazon or generally online, Walmart, TikTok Shop, they can start from investing in Helium 10 and then getting the course, like Freedom Ticket, right? So
Yes.
this would give people the ability to, yeah, exactly, their award-winning training series. This is by, initially was created by Kevin King, I believe, in 2016-ish, 17. Then it went through 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. I don't know how it is now, but this or another, it's like a 20-hour, I think, course at this point, where
Yeah.
basically you can go from beginning to like the whole cycle of the Amazon seller journey, plus how to use Helium 10 tools. And this one is available. Maybe it's different now, the pricing plans, but it's available with the starter package of Helium 10, the most the best
Basic.
value
Yeah.
kind of package, and this starter platinum diamond. So that's nice. So beginners can start. Current sellers can maybe just go through a course again. Why not? Like there's always something new to kind of learn and
Yeah.
implement, right? And then once we are beginners, we can kind of start searching for products, building listings. So like keyword research, product research, listing optimization. There's help with sales analytics, of profit analytics. So it's kind of, as you mentioned, you're able to run the business through one software, which houses a lot of things under its roof. Of course, the starter plan would be limited a little bit for like
Yeah.
most of the tools, but for the education, that's decent because you get the whole course instead of maybe investing, which is still fine, $1,000 or $2,000 course or even a $10 course on Udemy or something. Everything is cool. Just here, you get the set of tools. You have the course that shows you how to use the set of tools at best possible way from people who are part of the team or like experts in the industry. There's many people who are kind of part of the course as well from the industry. And then again, you can grow because you have more like stock, working with stock, inventory management. And then, of course, I'm only an Amazon seller, so I don't know how things go with TikTok. But as you mentioned, you can easily expand to TikTok, if I understood you correctly, from only Amazon because or
Yes.
some of the tools are available in Helium 10. So now we're on the pricing page, Shivali, right? Is it?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Okay, so we have the three plans and we can pay monthly, yearly. Again, the best deal is in the description to kind of score a bit better deal even. But what do we see here? Like,
So we're just seeing the full breakdown. If you guys are on this plane, if you're on this page, you just went to pricing, you'll
mm,
see something that looks like this. And right here, it usually says open all plan features. So that will help you get an understanding of what might be the best for you. The only caveat to this is just make sure that, as you're going through, you realize that it's great to start on starter, but you're quite limited in your uses. So you might get,
yeah.
a certain amount of searches for your black box tool for launching a product for Cerebro and Magnet. And so if you are really serious about your business and you're doing a lot of research to ensure you're investing your money in the right place, then Platinum might be a bit better of a deal for you because then you get access to so many more features. And I
Mm,
do think genuinely, like I don't say this just as a Helium 10 representative, but I've I started in your shoes and I did stuff manually. I've also used some of the other software tools out there. And then I joined Helium 10 after all that. And even then, I feel that you can still run everything just from Helium 10 and it is worth the bucks. So go in, whatever makes sense for you. This is not to hard pitch you on it, but rather to help you understand all the things you can do and how impactful it can be for your business. So if you see it as an investment opportunity, it really does pay dividends.
Yeah, and again, description I'll leave for the viewers the pricing page. They can go straight here, and then also I think you mentioned the extension. We'll have it in the description as well,
Yes.
and like the link with the best deals for the moment. So it's always kind of updated. There's coupon codes. So that's nice for money saving. And again, there's different parts of the in the pricing page. We saw Black Box, like Cerebro, and all these. There's playlist of tutorials and Helium 10 YouTube channel. So just kind of do your research further. There's also the support on the website. It's an interesting part because sometimes we can ask the support as
Yeah.
well, just to get some help. Right? There's trainings inside the tools as Shivali, you're showing on the right upper side of Black Box, say like Black Box training. So this is internal videos which are there's quite a lot. Bradley Sutton is there, and maybe Kerry, maybe you too, Chevalier, are part of
Yes.
these tutorials, right? So yeah, again, it's all in the description. And before we wrap up, Chevalier, maybe what do you think for 2026? Like it's a new year upcoming, and what would be your kind of recommendation for people, for beginners, or maybe for those who are already selling? What do you think, or maybe what would you do? Maybe you have some plan already for maybe how you'll utilize Helium 10 itself, or how generally you'll build your e-commerce business going forward. 26, it's happening soon, in a
Yeah,
month or
like I
so.
said, it's different for everybody.
Yeah,
So let's talk about two things here. Q4, if you are prepping for Q4 still, hopefully you already have it set because Black Friday is this
yeah, yeah,
weekend
yeah,
from when we're shooting this. But if
yeah.
you are still, playing catch up a bit, that's okay. You can just go into Cerebro. What I would do is I'm just going to pull up something from a previous history, so I'm not taking up too much time here. But I'm gonna open up this right here because it's a multi-search. What you're gonna do is input your competitors, your main competitors. Your first ASIN should actually be your product or your primary product if you haven't actually launched yet. But if you have, then just put it in. I have launched in the middle of Q4, so
Yeah.
I get it. You can go in and put in your ASIN that you're about, or not your ASIN, your primary competitor if you haven't launched yet, or your product. And then you're going to click get keywords. And what I would do is take a look at historical trend. And this is going to show
Mhm.
you how things were going last year and which keywords were relevant back then that you might not have in your bank right now. And so, what this does is it helps you get ahead of keywords that are going to start peaking soon, especially come December, when people are trying to buy for Christmas or when they're trying to buy for New Year's. Anything like that you can get ahead of. And of course, if you'd seen this in October, this would have been relevant for your Black Friday. But even then, I want you to think about this in 2026 because all year long, you can leverage this to figure out, well, what keywords are coming around summertime or springtime or Valentine's Day. Like if your stuff is a gifting item, then maybe you can leverage that. And equally, when you go in, all you do is you say, okay, maybe for this product, this is a competitor product. They're doing really great for December. I want to compare it to November of this year and see, what's changed. And you can click compare those months. You can compare up to 3 months and just figure out, you'll I don't know what happened right there. Oh, okay. It's just taking a second. No
Yeah.
patience in me. But you can go in and say, okay, I want to select a preset. So I want to find all the keywords where they were present only in the first month, but not the second month, or they were present in the second month and not in the first month. And so you can go in and discern, is there something you want to put into your exact match campaigns or that you need to put a focus on? We have something called
Mhm.
CPR number inside of Helium 10 as inside of Cerebro that we were just looking at as well. And we even have something called title density. So these are quick ways for you to score some wins. And what they do is CPR number tells you how many products. For example, if I was not ranking for coffin shelves, which I would hope wasn't the case,
Yeah, yeah,
because that is one of our primaries, but if
of
I
course.
wasn't, CPR is 8. That means I need to sell 1 unit a day over 8 days because CPR number literally refers to how many you need to sell over 8 days' time to rank on the top half of page 1. So if it's 8, it means I need to sell 1. If it's 24, I need to sell 3 per day. And this means if I set an exact match campaign, I can pause it every time I hit the number that it says on average over those 8 days. And then on day 8, I should be ranking on the top half of page 1. Now, this isn't a perfect system because sometimes you do rank for it a lot faster. I have seen this happen in 2 or 3 days instead, and that is
Yeah.
great for us. 8 days just gives you the most sustainable spot for keeping that rank. So that's why we say 8 days. We've tested this with a company. That's how we got this specific metric. Title density is going to tell you how many products on page 1 have the actual keyword in it, title. And this lets you rank a lot easier. You don't need to be the first necessarily to generate sales, guys. Remember that. You can be the second or the third placement and still make sales. But this is just saying that only one other product on the entire page has this keyword phrase in the actual title. And so you can go in, be, number 2 or 3 and rank a whole lot faster. So these are really quick ways for you guys to go in and win. If you are, a little bit later down, you're thinking about 2026. Some things we can do that we already talked about is migrating to TikTok Shop if it makes sense for you. We've talked about some of the other tools here like Amazon, the influencer finder. You can use that for Amazon as well as for TikTok Shop. And then we have things like Search Query Analyzer. So if you have brand registry, you can go and check out whether your impressions are actually more than what the search volume is dictating or less. And then you can figure out whether you are actually getting placed organically and sponsored, or if you need to tweak something in your ad campaigns to actually gain that visibility. You can check out Share of Voice to figure out what your breakdown is for your actual brand, as well as Market Tracker. It's just so much you can do. Manage refund services. Also, I've heard sellers get thousands back. Like, people have come up to me even at conferences when I'm meeting them, and they're like, I got my entire Helium 10 subscription for the year paid for through managed refund services. So really, really cool, because sometimes Amazon loses or damages your inventory and you end up losing money, and you can actually get money back for that. So a really quick way for you to figure out what money does Amazon owe you, if any. And just so much you can do. Like Vova said, make sure you're going in, find your objective, go into the tool, and then, as he said, use the buttons at the very, very top for the training. All of them are between 5 to 7 minutes, so you can literally watch one and implement one thing. That's what I recommend, is like, don't overwhelm yourself trying to do 20 things at once.
Yeah.
Figure out one thing, go in, watch the video, implement it.
Yeah. Awesome, Shivali. So again, in the description, we'll have the best offer for Helium 10, the current updated offer with some coupon codes and discounts to save if you, the viewer, decide to invest. Again, starter, platinum, and diamond plans, and the discounts help you save on each one of them. And you can check out the pricing page and see which one is the best for you. Of course, you can ask questions with the support, comments, anything is nice. Just ask and we'll get back to you. And may everyone have good 2026, full of prosperity and hopefully good news. And just wishing everyone the best. Shivali, thank you for your time today, for making the time to record. And for you too, be well and all the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much.